Now!
It's just flying completely sideways. Straight through the trees. Oh, it hits that, and watch, just wait.
What did you hit?
Solid steel, baby.
Wow.
Whoa.
Sounded like it.
Hi, my name is Jake Allen. I am a pilot here with SU Aviation. I'm here with James Dodderer and Ryan DeYong. These two are certified flight instructors here at the school, and I am a student pilot in training with just a private pilot certificate. Today, you're watching the Pilots React video. We're gonna watch some clips from movies with some pretty crazy helicopter scenes that are questionable. Maybe they're doing it right, maybe they're doing it wrong. We're here to let you know the whole scope of things and what would actually happen. All right, what one's this? The Expendables? I haven't actually seen this.
They land on the train.
That's a lot of guys.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna need a little more coffee for this one. You guys ever seen a cyclist sitting up this high?
Yeah, it looked like he was like doing this.
I got the controls.
So, I mean, to be fair, he is about my height, so he might be sunk down.
really
there.
Stallone?
Yeah.
No, he's not.
He is.
But he's
actually.
him?
Yeah, he's. I think he's actually shorter than I am.
Holy crap.
Yeah, he's. a
He
small
looks
guy.
tall.
So the cyclic is the cyclic control that controls the helicopter to go in any direction that you want to go. To be able to, if you want to go forward, you push forward, aft, and usually you keep your right hand on that cyclic at all times. Like if you let go, the helicopter is now going to do what it wants to do. Since helicopters don't want to fly, it will not stay steady. So usually your right hand or a hand doesn't ever come off that cyclic. Your left hand should be on a collective next to you, which is a collective adjustment, which is your uppy downy stick. Makes you go up, makes you go down. So if you don't have your hand on the uppy downy stick and you're only on the cyclic, then you're just doing whatever the helicopter wants to do, up or down. Does he go over or under it?
Oh. I love how he had that yank on the collective, just increased the pitch so much, but the aircraft, like with all of that pitch increase, he's just still just like, cool, I'm staying at the same level.
Barely come up a little bit.
I don't even think he even came up. Yeah, right here. Watch him like just armpit the collective and watch what the aircraft does.
Well, that was a cyclic.
Yeah.
No, it's right here.
Oh, there it is.
And then just completely level. I love it.
He looks like he's flat pitched, but then when they show the helicopter, he's got an angle to
Yeah,
it.
left skid high.
So is he sitting down or is he, yeah, like right there?
Yeah, it looks like one is definitely high. I think that is possible on a train that's not making any left or right turns, just going straight at a constant rate of speed. I mean, you could time that and come down and land on it as long as the landing surface was flat. You're not going to strike your tail rotor into anything. I'd say it's definitely doable.
Do you think Stallone did it himself?
He
No.
did not.
And
He drew first blood, not me. I don't even think Stallone just said anything. I just think he was just.
Probably a 40 millimeter cannon, a helicopter, and no headsets. Just kind of talking back and forth.
You know he overtorqued that helicopter.
Oh yeah.
Another weight, you got all those guys on there, and then he rips the collective and does a bank. Yeah, that engine, or that torque, yeah.
Over
The
torque.
gearbox is no longer, yeah, that whole thing is shot.
Just like you're driving a truck with a high center of gravity, you try to take a 90-degree turn going 60 miles per hour. I mean, that thing is going to flip over. You're doing more than that vehicle can handle. It's the same thing in a helicopter. You introduce way too much stress on that helicopter, and it would definitely fry up the gearbox. All right, so the Mission Impossible.
You had me at hello. Wait, where's he gonna go to the show?
I also look
We
up
went
when I
from-
hear a
We
helicopter.
went from that to show me the money. What the?
MD-500?
Nope, 600. It's got no tail rotor.
Oh, MD-600.
So the cool thing about that helicopter is it doesn't have an actual tail rotor on it. It's got a fan that blows out instead of a tail rotor. So it's called a no-tire system. Very safe, very quiet. It's a very quiet helicopter.
And he's throwing down a hook going that fast.
just
if they were going that fast,
just how that moved. That
right?
moved
Yeah, I mean that's not a weighted rope or anything. That thing would be whipping so far back.
And going that fast, he's not going to be wobbling back and forth. He's going to be tipped forward pretty dang good. Oh snap!
That's why you have to have that
you would reach for number 2 and
Auto release.
Pull the manual release.
Okay, a manual release should be an emergency release in case of an emergency or anything for any external load or a line coming off the helicopter. Just in case a scenario like this would happen where somebody accidentally hooks you to a train that's moving toward the tunnel.
Or purposefully.
Or purposely. Yeah, definitely not accidentally there.
Looks up at you like, ah. Right here.
That was pretty bad.
Wait, watch it getting dragged along.
Oh no.
Oh yeah. That was pretty good.
I mean, at that point, you could become like a passenger of the train where you just kind of
maybe
skids down and just ride the fuselage on the track.
Yeah, the skids are on the track.
At 220
with
knots.
a little spark from a blade on the concrete wall.
With rails. Yeah, let's just dive right in there.
Yep, that didn't break his blade at all.
Just a little tink.
Dragging a helicopter like that, you now have, dynamic rollover, where you're being pulled. The helicopter would just whip down, and the tail would disappear, and it would be gone.
Yeah,
that's just not even possible.
Yeah, I was going to say at that point, you're not really generating any lift up, which is what helicopters need.
Hiya! And we're still hooked to the train at this point too. So now it's coming up and over the top.
Oh boy. Oh boy. I mean, if anyone could do it, it'd be James.
First of all, he wouldn't be
it's not
attached
right.
to the train. He would have hit number 2. Well, our number 2, the manual release.
Yeah. Made good
But
PICs.
now he's released, so we're good. And he's flying along.
As soon as that main rotor hit the top of that tunnel, that thing would be disintegrated.
Every now and then a small bird. Oh crap!
What do you put on there?
Oh man.
I think it's still flying too. Yeah.
Ouch!
That's what would have happened the second he started getting dragged from the
they're
train.
slowing down. I was like, there's no way the helicopter would catch up to a 200 knot train.
And the train just came to a stop too. Convenient.
That blade looks like it finally hit something.
Yeah. That dude looks like a cartoon character.
That was a fixed wing pilot. So, first of all, it's a Huey, classic aircraft. We had one flying the other day. It was amazing.
Oh, I missed it?
That was odd.
It is low. That was like 5 feet.
According to the height velocity diagram, that is not very safe to do. Therefore, in non-military action, that should never happen.
We need to I don't know, put you in front of a whiteboard with a height velocity diagram. So at this height, you are not going to be able to auto-rotate safely. Those rotor blades go, that thing would not, yeah. Hey, they showed the attitude indicator.
Yeah, I don't know what that would have to do with anything, but there would be I don't think there'd be as much. Yeah, I think they did that right.
Yeah.
You would just lose altitude. You wouldn't spin.
Wasn't a huge ball of flame like you would expect in a movie. I mean, that was pretty.
Not if Wolverine chops your rotors off, you're done. I'm sorry. It's about the best way to bring down
James
a
would have
helicopter.
just stuck his arm out and I grabbed him by the throat and been, no, brother.
Some of that wreckage was pretty bad, but how it came down out of the sky after being chopped like that, yeah, that's pretty real. But
Yeah, like the front of the fuselage,
It's like
hits and then the tail boom just ejects.
and the tail boom is a straight cut. Yeah, that wouldn't happen. That big thing, like just sitting on the ground, it would make the doors do that. But as soon as he creates lift, then it should be like freaking
Right.
going crazy.
Probably, yeah.
But right there,
And boom!
now.
Love that. Pause.
Pause.
So, the helicopter's main rotor blade is spinning. If it encounters a hard object, bad things are going to happen. That rotor system is destroyed, the helicopter is destroyed, and there is no way they are flying out of there.
Most of it, I mean, there's no structure to a rotor blade. It's very, very flimsy, and as they relax and they don't get spun, they start to droop and they get down. So you can tell just when they're not spinning that they don't have a lot of structure to them. And this is what the inside of a rotor blade looks like.
The more you know.
I didn't know they were shooting at us. Okay, that's okay. Whoa. It just happened to pop the bolt out. And that's it.
What's going on?
No.
And there's a horn.
And it
It's a
sets off
horn,
some
too.
sort of alarm.
Yeah,
Apparently, if you
that's
lose one of
neat.
your pitch links,
Yeah.
it's gonna notify you. Yeah.
What is a pitch link?
And now James Daughter with the explanation of what a pitch link is. James?
A pitch link is it's nothing more than a control rod in a way that in this scenario will control the angle of the swash plate, which is what is going to angle the rotor disc as the rotors spin. And if you were to lose that, you're going to lose control of what direction the rotors spin, which means that you will not be able to control the helicopter and
At all.
not fly it like this gentleman is
You'd
doing.
be able to hold a nice left bank because it looks like it's on the right side there.
Oh,
so
yeah.
it's going to naturally, you're going to be able to push a little bit, but it's going to always be tilted a little. So I think you're always going to be in this nice left circle.
Straight
There we
through
are
the
with
trees.
trees and
Oh, it
lakes.
hits that, and watch, just wait.
It might have
What
been
I love
used.
about this part is they're falling off this cliff at a very high velocity, settling with power isn't a thing. They're just going to recover nice and perfect down the bottom.
Aha.
Teaching point. Settling with power is where you, as a helicopter, get trapped in your own vortices. As the blade spins around, it creates wind that circulates around. So if you are not moving very fast over the ground and you have a lot of power applied, those vortices keep getting larger and larger, and it actually accelerates a downward motion, causing you to pretty much fall out of the sky in an accelerated fashion. One of the only recoveries for it is to push out of those vortices or do what's called the Vachard method and step out of them to the right or left, depending on the helicopter you're flying. At least
The
you call it the
collective.
collective.
Well, the collective's
The
right
collective
here.
isn't busted.
The pitch link's busted. Or the control.
That's how we go up and down. So the collective is busted. It's how they go up and down. But they just came clear out of the sky, and they're staying at a perfect level above the ground now.
And they can hear a ground rumble here through a Huey. Bunch of rhinos. No headsets.
I'm not sure about pulling down on the swash plate, though.
If he was touching the controls at all, that thing would be all over the place,
Yeah.
and he
Knuckles would be gone.
yeah.
And there's nothing for him to connect to. It's just a.
How durable
It's like
is that
this.
That tail boom must be reinforced with something very unique, like from Wakanda or something like that. Love that. Doesn't need two arms, just one.
Something
The
that
rock's
big.
about 260 pounds. Yeah, there would be a little bit of.
And it did show it a little bit, but that helicopter that big, it's not gonna move much. Here we go. Here we go.
Roll 90 degrees. This is.
Now.
It's just flying completely sideways.
I mean, timing is impeccable because
Yeah.
if you're any lower, he's going to hit the rotor blades, and then I think that was his last life in this movie, so.
You wouldn't turn sideways like that anyways. Like turning sideways like that would cause you to bank
And
so
you'd
hard
go to
right
the
and go
hill.
straight into the cliff. I mean, at this point, they're portraying it as the tail rotor is acting as the main rotor. Like they just completely switched the aerodynamic profile of the whole aircraft. So we got a nice spin in here, and instead they roll to the side, and this little dinky guy, this tail rotor, is what's keeping them aloft. They're flying along just fine. They'll just level out and climb out of there. Makes sense.
Yeah, helicopters don't do that.
They do.
Jumanji does it.
Out of 10 on a scale of realism for this movie and this helicopter scene in Jumanji, I would give it a stern 0.5. Stern, but fair.
I'd give it a 1. Just the way he talks about things. You know, he's like, it's underneath the rotor blades by the swash plate.
Okay.
Or something like that. He said something like that. It sounded really good, so I'd give it a 1. I'd give him a 0.5.
All right.
I think that role just kind of ruins it because
It's a video.
he did a very good job of explaining it, like
Yeah, I'll give
Ryan
him
was
that.
talking about. So maybe 0.5 to 1. Somewhere in there.
All right, well, that wraps up our pilot react video. Saw some pretty crazy footage in there and then some pretty realistic things that would happen in the aircraft. Hope you enjoyed. If you did enjoy this video, go ahead and like and subscribe. Tell people about it, share with your friends, and we hope to see you around here next time. She's like, oh my gosh, Lizzie McGuire. Hi, my name is Jake Allen, and you're watching SU Aviation.
It just happened to pop the bolt out. And that's it.
Oh my god.
Don't, no,
Tear up.
he's not a helicopter pilot anymore.
I'll have to go with a 1.
Ooh.
Tough crowd, tough crowd.